Welcome back, cats and kittens, to the Tears of the Kingdom Weekly Mod Showcase. Starting off this week, we have the Exploring opening cutscene by Banan039. This mod allows us to explore the sealing room right before Ganon McShreks us. Military-industrial complex haircut Link approaches Ganondorf, and nothing happens. Okay, I have honestly no idea why I was afraid to approach. I knew a fight wouldn't trigger. It's that marine elf look. Also, I jumped off the ledge expecting a bottomless pit, but it turns out there is ground below. Alright, how do we get back up? Kyle, put the knife down! The renowned Banan039 also has a few cool companion mods. I'll start out with Cass, because I think this is the most visually impressive mod. Our buddy from Breath of the Wild replaces Tulin, and his animations are incredibly smooth. Usually when people do replace Tulin, it can be a bit finicky, but this iteration works extremely well. And the last two mods by Banan039 are the Ganondorf and Zelda companion mods. At last, the three pieces of the Triforce have finally come together to fight the cruel gods that have put them in an endless cycle. Not really, but it is a cool thought, and I probably should have ran the two mods together at the same time, but I don't feel like re-recording. Alright, up next we have a completely normal Twilight Princess mod, and oh my god! What is that? The Link to Wolf Link mod by Fel Inferno. And oh, there you go. He looks a bit more normal without the cap. This mod reminds me of those glitches from Twilight Princess, and oh, okay, I guess the tunic as well, where you were in unintended areas as Wolf Link. Nope. The Ancient Revival by the Fifth Tier, or Fifth Tear. I'm sorry if I got that wrong, but this brings back all of the equipment from Breath of the Wild that's missing regarding the ancient equipment, such as the Guardian Spear, Guardian Sword, Ancient Bow. I have this downloaded. I would definitely recommend it. He just released an update, but I unfortunately don't have that capture, but go ahead and do download. The Matching Hero Outfits by Taco synchronizes the color palette of all hero outfits. This means you can mix and match all of the hero outfits on screen without losing that color synchronicity. But what I did was a little bit different. I went with the Ocarina of Time Fire Temple and Water Temple outfits. Sorry, I just had to. I didn't get very creative. The Rauru and Paya companion mod by The Legend 5B. This mod... Okay. Oh god. This mod replaces Rauru in place of Tulin and Paya in place of Sidon. As you can see, Rauru has become a majestic bird, and Paya has finally fulfilled her wish of following Link around. The last of the legend mods include one where Rauru is the final Demon King boss we've been looking for. Jinky Scoob. Also legend, why do you hate Rauru so much? Edward Elric, the Full Metal Alchemist, has found his way into the game. This mod is by Rickolicious and has everything you need. It only really needs that iconic sound effect. A couple of quality of life mods shown on screen are the Buffed Archaic Clothes by Frosty and the Armor and Material Description by Kitson. Regarding Kitson, I just had to give him a shout out because I know he worked really hard on this one. All the armor in the game is displayed with the necessary upgrades you need from the Great Fairy, and all materials for cooking show the effects when you actually do cook. The Buffed Archaic Clothes actually allow you to play with the best outfit in the game without getting one-shotted. But too late for me, I already finished the game. You know how much I sacrificed? The final mod we will be looking at, which is also my favorite one, is the Weapons of Legend Past Zelda Gear by Tak and Asalazar. They also had assistance from Messy Product, Pick, Melon Speedruns, Neva Osis, Xander X Hodge, Issue Link, Killer ZX Gaming, and Arc Leaders. Alright, let's get into it. I was so excited to throw this mod on. I absolutely nerded out and tried every single weapon with the corresponding outfit. Hey look, I'm recreating how Link moved in Zelda NES. I also utilized the Matching Outfits mod earlier to properly create the red mail from A Link to the Past. The authors of these mods work so hard, so go to Nexus Mods or Games Banana and download these mods and support their creators. On screen are the Ocarina of Time mods, including the cut mirror shield from the 1.00 version of Ocarina of Time. I am so fascinated with the Nintendo 64 Zeldas simply because of that jump from 2D to 3D. We all know Nintendo was spearheading that era, and even they didn't really know what they were getting into, so to see the cut content, the betas, everything revolved around it is so interesting. And this isn't nostalgia speaking, I did not grow up with Majora or Ocarina, but that late 90s new 3D graphics era is so cool but creepy, which is why I understand why so many creepypastas stem from the era. Did the developers discover something we don't know? Is there an alien? Unpopular opinion time, and I can say this because Wind Waker was my first game but so many people have called Wind Waker underrated that it is now overrated. It's top 10, but I mean, come on. S tier Cyrox. Wind Waker did have the best iteration of Ganondorf, especially with his ending dialogue, but you could argue Twilight Princess executed some gameplay elements much better. I know, I am a Twilight Princess fanboy, and I'm so happy to see the love for it come back. Just waiting for it to happen with Skyward Sword. Any day now. For those of you that don't know, every single Zelda game is subject to something called the Zelda cycle. Allow me to explain this unnatural phenomenon. You see, right before a Zelda game releases, it is doomed to be the worst game of all time. But then suddenly, the game releases and it receives 10s everywhere and is deemed the greatest Zelda game ever. However, that does not last long, as maybe about a year passes, and then that same game is called trash. Just watch. Next year, people will be praising Breath of the Wild while dunking on Tears of the Kingdom. Maybe Skyward Sword will get praised too. One man can hope. One of the reasons why these mods look so good on screen is because they actually imported these models from other games. For instance, the Skyward Sword models shown on screen are actually all from the Skyward Sword HD iteration. The other models also come from Smash Ultimate and other Zelda HD iterations. Now, if you're a true Zelda fan, tell me what I did wrong on screen just now. Pretend I just jumped off Skyloft and tell me in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to go support those modders, and I'll be seeing y'all later. Take care.